Stone by stone, tear by tear, we release and rebuild right here. Stone by stone, tear by tear, we release and rebuild right here. What is gone, we build upon. What is gone, we build upon. Stone by stone, tear by tear, we release and rebuild right here. Stone by stone, tear by tear, we release and rebuild right here. Holy ground is all around. Holy ground is all around.
Thank you, Kashira. Welcome, everybody. By the waters of Babylon, by the waters of Babylon, we sat down and wept for you, Zion. We sat down and wept for you, Zion. We remember you, Zion. We remember you, Zion. Welcome, everybody, to this amazing gathering of a transition, a metamorphosis out of Tisha B'Av. I'm so honored to have great teachers and leaders and all of you going from grief to healing to joy at the end of Tisha B'Av, our national day of mourning, a day where we mourn Black lives and violence, where we mourn for our country. The real mourning might not be the external temple, but what's happening inside of us. Yes, the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed. We were expelled from Spain. We sat down and we wept. We went through grief and we came out of grief. And through grieving, there's healing. And our ritual today is a remarkable combination of teachers who've understood grief in their own lives, as I have, and understood joy. So we've designed this ritual to move towards a ceremony in which we honor a new bowl that's been commissioned, and Duhan Felix has created a new magical blessing bowl that channels the mothers. Incredible. And we're going to talk more about that as we go on, but there's the bowl. It says Melanie. I guess Melanie Menzel is the bowl. And the bowl is a remarkable thing. So I want Duhan to, my co-leader tonight and my teacher and my friend, my other mom in Berkeley for many, many years, and my co-conspirator in Jewish arts and radical politics. I'd like Duhan to explain the course of the evening and how she conceived of it, and we will then begin with our ritual and move toward Ma'ariv, and then the ceremony, and then have a denouement. Duhan.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. Thank you, Jonathan. In the 1980s, I went to a lecture at the Magnus that Jonathan gave about cursing bowls that you put over where you think there's a demon and you deliver a curse to it. I said, it's time for blessing bowls. We need to have bowls that are blessings and put the blessings out. And during the 80s, Jonathan and I made bowls together, and I have bowls in a lot of museum permanent collections. And then I kind of went out of that phase and started doing other things. It seemed to me now that it's time for a new blessing bowl. And my friend Melanie lent me her computer. That's why the bowl is called Melanie. But anyway, this is the bowl. And where is Ariel Tonkin? Did the beautiful, beautiful calligraphy on it, and you'll see her somewhere. And she's going to also be doing something. And Jonathan did the prayers. And there she is. There's the bowl. And there are prayers on the edge and prayers inside. And Leia's going to talk about the name in the center. So this is definitely a collaboration. And because we're feeling that this is a way to acknowledge an ending of the plague and also the ending of Tisha B'Av, and we want to put joy out there in the world, and we want to work on the things in this world that need working on, and we want to be the people that do it. We are going to be the people that do it. There's a lot to be done. So let me see what else to say. I think I'm going to read a poem that I wrote, and it's I am Susan Duhan Felix, and this is dedicated to all the nameless sisters, daughters, mothers, and wives who went before me and never came into their full power to bless. After I had created and sent forth many blessing bowls, I discovered that Duhan meant the giving of the priestly blessing. I have reclaimed that name and the power. But that's passed on through the men, my father said. My husband Morton told me, I'm my father's best son, as I stretch out my hands and bless. So blessings to all of you, and let us reclaim our power to bless and send the blessings out now and into the world, and the best out there. Okay, thank you, everybody, and thank you, people, for coming. It's so wonderful to have everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you, Susan. Thank you for all the work that you do in this world, in Berkeley, in the Bay Area. May you continue to bless us many, many more years, many more. So I'd like to invite our dear friend, our poet, Ruth Gendler, to bless us with her poem that she wrote for this occasion. Ruth.
Let us begin with courage, the courage to make our prayers tangible, to focus and offer our prayers for healing and blessing through ceremony and song. Let us begin with humility, washed with tears, singing our sorrows, whispering our longing for wholeness. Let us begin with imagination, to see the sacred in the ordinary, a bowl ancient and essential to daily life, and to name an unfamiliar ancestor, to honor our mothers. Let us begin with skill, the hand and heart of a maker, an artisan, creativity in the service of spirit. Let us begin with a specific woman, shaping bowls by hand and bringing them to her fire, covering them with sand, cooking them in darkness, and when the fire cools, uncovering the pots, transformed and wholly new. And each vessel from that firing sings its own story of survival and transformation, of emerging whole from the fire. And this one, becomes a blessing bowl. Let us begin with grief and outrage, remembering the recent dead, dying, sometimes bewildered, sometimes in grace, beloved, cherished, unnamed. We are stunned, numb, unable to keep the count current. Let us begin with dedication, to honor old rituals and bring them into our time, this time, to mend and amend our fragmentary history and enlarge the story, our stories, renew our sources. Let us begin in anguish and yearning, our yearning for healing from the far side of what we think is possible. Let us begin with language, imprecise and beautiful, pointing to immensities beyond words, beyond our minds. Let us begin with courage. Let us begin with love. Let us begin with love. Let us begin with courage. Thank you.
Let's all take a few breaths and moment of silence for those that have died in grief. Let's take some time, folks. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay. Alit Sion. Call on our sister Ariel Tonkin, who helped do the calligraphy. Ariel, if you'd speak or sing or read what's from your heart, we welcome you.
I've been honored to be the steward of that object in my home for the past few months, turning it around in my hands again and again as I paint letter by letter on the inside of the lip, first going around in Hebrew and then adding the English around the side, and lastly adding the name in the belly of the bowl. And Susan has been my dear friend and co-conspirator and collaborator since 2013 for 7 years this summer. And I'm very struck at this moment when so many elders are leaving us too soon before their time. Just the blessing of this intergenerational friendship, this like true friendship that I have with one of my elders, with you, Susan, with a fellow artist and soul sib. And even as I'm grappling with in my own body the magnitude of the whole world of death, which I've written into this kina that I'll sing for you now, this poem, liturgical poem that I'll sing for you now. And even as I'm holding that, as all of humanity is grappling with this, it's orders of magnitude different for Black and brown bodies and Indigenous communities at this time. And even as I'm feeling my heart pour out that grief, I see how having a vessel, both a physical, tangible vessel, to turn around and to paint and touch, inscribe with my own marks on top of Susan's marks, I see how that mimetic practice and that haptic practice heals me. And even so, no bowl could be big enough to hold all the tears. And so that's what I write about, and I'll sing you my piyut. It's a kina for Tisha B'Av in honor of Susan's amuletic bowl to heal the plague. Kol yoshvei teva b'shivam badad, ve'mechem lekulam, zechor achritam v'kaveh v'yeshuam, devai levav olamenu achayim, ve'nei hayordim mayim, aval dor ledor teshev, kiseimenu shebashamayim. Tza'ak libenu maspik dayenu, yidlu zekenenu, vichlu b'limaot enenu, uvenizak unshivei satam tfilatenu, aval nashuva elecha kekedem, nachbesa derachenu. Kol yoshvei tevel b'shivtam badad, ve'en menachem lekulam, zechor acharitam v'kaveh le'yeshuam, aval b'shuvatam kafik b'midbar, zechor yemei bechitenu, Amei Hanav.